No more bullshit monkey ninja drills, and no more so-called Spetsnaz reloads. Make every bullet count. I'll give you simple to follow and execute a training plan. Do this and you will get better with your AK. Step 1. We are going to start at 25 yards of lane. Why 25 yards lane? Because every club, gun club, range has the 25 yards lane, so you will be able to do that at that distance. Also at that distance we are completely taking out the wind factor away. Wind is something that we're going to practice in the next steps and the videos. For this drill you are going to need some sort of the firm forward support. It could be a bag, it could be a sandbag, could be a shooting bag, whatever you have, so you can rest your rifle like this on the back and shoot from it. It has to be really firm and sturdy. Now, before we'll go to the shooting, few notes about the targets. For the targets I'm using, these are my favorite sets to set up targets and to shoot from 25 yards. I'm using the US Army 25 meters M4 targets. You can print them out from the computer, but when doing it, make sure you will do the scale 1:1, or you can order them on Amazon in bulk. They really are not that expensive. When setting up the target, get into the habit of leveling that target on the background. So remember, the target should be always leveled. It will help you out tremendously, especially with the optics. Now I have here the classic setup AK, and then we have this high-speed AK. It doesn't matter which setup you're going to choose for shooting your drills. I highly advise you, if you're running an optic and you have a really high speed AK, to start doing those drills with that one rifle. But there is nothing wrong doing it with the standard iron sights and the basically bare bones like we got here. Next, I'll show you what we're going to do from behind the rifle. I want you to be in a prone position behind the rifle, and you should be comfortable. The goal is to set a ground zero for your work forward, right? So when we're going behind the rifle right now, I'm going to make sure, I'm going to lift it with my hand and make sure that the rifle goes to my shoulder pocket, closer to my neck, and I have a really nice and good control of the rifle. See, I can remove the bag completely, but the rifle sits nicely on my body right here. Okay, I'm going to put the bag because I want to talk about a few other things. And don't worry, during the video you will see the shooting from the regular setup AK as well. But now let's talk about the pistol grip. Since this is a semi-automatic rifle, it is extremely important that you are in charge of that rifle and you are driving that rifle, not the rifle drives you. All right, for this I need you to grip the pistol grip, and the left thumb will go to the left side of the pistol grip unless you are left-handed. But for the most of the guys, it will be like this, and you're going to grip it and hold it firmly. And at this point I want you to pull the rifle by around as much as the rifle weighs. So let's say 10 pounds, and I want you to apply that 10 pounds back to your body. And I don't want to see any thumbs on the right side like this where you're not really closing that grip. Guys, again, this is a semi-automatic rifle. You have to control that rifle. Once you got that good firm grip, on the pistol grip, we're going to go and place our head on the stock behind the rifle and behind the optic like I got here. Make sure you do have natural point of aim. The best way to test this out is you look with your sights at the target, and now I'm going to close my eyes and open them up, and I am dead in the center of the target, exactly where I want to be. So if you have to make some adjustments, move your body, do so. Because as I said, here we are setting up the ground zero. From this, we can start shooting at the target. And you have to remember about the trigger control. We have to do the nice and steady motion on the trigger. You all have a different trigger setups. Whatever trigger setup you have, the best before the real shooting is to actually do some dry firing, so you know how the trigger mechanism in your rifle works and there is no surprises. So we're going to have a nice pull on the trigger, and then after the shot you're going to release it. But before you will break the shot, please control your shot process. So we have to have a good sight picture. You have to have that natural point of aim on the target, right? Everything is achieved. You are controlling your breathing. As far as the breathing goes, I see people are trying to manipulate it and to do some crazy things about the breathing cycle. You need to inhale air in order to survive. So when doing so, we can hold the air inside the lungs. After releasing it, there was always some amount of the air left in the lungs, and you can hold it for 1.5 to 2 seconds comfortably without going crazy on your body vitals. So it will be looking something like this. I do have a nice comfortable position. It's my natural point of aim is on point. I'm looking at the target, and I'm going to start looking at my breath. I released the air from my lungs, and now I have around 1.5 to 2 seconds, and I'll squeeze the trigger and do it that way. So don't force it. If you don't have a shot, do not take the shot. This is not about the speed. This is right now just to get you in the habit of making a good shots. If you don't have a shots, I cannot stress this out, do not take it. Let's go to shooting. So we did shot very nice group. We are, however, slightly off center. So quick reminder, in AK Bootcamp, you have zeroing directions for all kinds of AKs and the setups. So buy the book, because you can put that book to the cargo pocket and have it with you all the time, even when you don't have access to the internet. But going back to the group, I'm really pleased with the group size, and this is going to be your goal. From that distance, from 25 yards, you want to be inside. The group shouldn't be bigger than OD of that circle. and the OD of that circle is slightly over 1.5 inches. This is 4 centimeters because it is US Army zeroing target, so everything is in the metric system. But OD of that circle is slightly bigger than 1.5. It's 1.57 inch. So one more time, I'll put my tape on it. You can see is like slightly over 1.5. No big deal. But if you will look at the group, look for the AK. How we group, we are way below 1 inch. I'll do this, maybe that will be better visible on the camera, right? If you will look, we are way below 1 inch. So that would be a very good baseline for what you're setting up, and you know that you can achieve from the 25 yards distance that kind of group with your AK. But if you will be inside that 1.5 OD circle, that's good. And again, now I'll have to adjust my scope and do the corrections and keep shooting. You should dominate that target from 25 yards. When you will be comfortable, when all your groups, every time when you're shooting, are tight as this, then we will advance to the step number 2.